I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you were destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room for our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you. Thank you so very much for joining us right here on the Coach's Corner. And my name is Marcus Sillett, a.k.a. The Coach. Assuredly, I bring to the table, as I always say, a plethora of personal and professional issues as I recover from my past. But I also bear the scars of the journey of life, and those scars breed, if you will, the wisdoms of the matter that I have learned along the way. And so that's what I try to bring to the table as I share with you and trust and hope that I have and will earn the right to speak into your life. It is essential that you weigh that and see whether or not I can earn that right. And I also say thank you to so many of my listeners worldwide. I do take it very seriously, and I'm very, very excited about those that are joining me across the world as we endeavor to be better at who we were destined to be. Today we're going to be talking about recovering from destructive behavior, part 1. Something I've been wanting to share, and I think now is the time to talk about that will to live and not die. This is the Coach's Corner with your life coach, Marcus Sillett. Thank you so very much. Those that are joining us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, iBroadcast TV, Spreaker, Voicecast, occasionally we get over there, Blog Talk Radio, Spreaker, and beyond. iTunes, I would be remiss, and I would be very remiss if I don't mention the people that listen to the station regularly on SIBN radio-by-SelectUSATV.com. But I want to dive right into what we're going to talk about today: recovering from destructive behavior. Let's for the qualifier, for the onslaught, let's just say this: we all have some kind of destructive behavior or behavior that could or has or can destroy our lives. Even the goody two-shoe, the one that swore to you that they didn't do anything and they had a perfect childhood, liar, liar, pants on fire, okay? All of us have had struggles, some that we speak of and others that we don't. All of us have had dark days, dark weeks, dark months, dark years, and some of us dark decades. I need some help right there. And so as we acknowledge, first of all, that I've had dark days, dark weeks, dark months, dark quarters, dark years, and some dark decades. Along the way, with the intention from my conscious decision, along the way I have intended to try to pacify what I couldn't change. Pacify the pain that seems to overwhelm my day. I've tried to pacify the pain that seems to overwhelm my way. Hence, along the path, I have picked up behaviors, attitudes, mindsets, paradigms. I've adopted certain things that keeps me in the game, but they don't keep me impactful or effective, but they keep me from being washed out, if you will. But they're washing me out just slowly. I've taken the easy way out. I'm talking about myself. I've taken the back door because I couldn't go through the front door, too embarrassed, too upset, too ashamed. So I picked up whatever habits I could to soothe, to satisfy, to extend some type of pleasure beyond my pain. And hence, in some cases by reason of default, and in other cases by reason of intention or conscious decision, hence I have picked up destructive behaviors. What are destructive behaviors? Violence against your mate is destructive behavior. Violence against your children is destructive behavior. Getting high is destructive behavior. Some say it's leisure and entertainment, but it's not. I mean, it's leisure entertainment based on where your mind is, but when it's time to, get the business of life done, you can't be high while you're trying to get the business of life completed. Especially when you got little kids involved, you see. Smoking is destructive behavior. Drinking too much is destructive behavior. And I got some other ones that will surprise you. Going to church every time the church doors is open is destructive behavior because it sends a signal that you don't have a life outside the four walls of that protectorate fellowship. It's destructive for you. I used to know people that used to go to 3 and 4 and 5 services in one day. One day. Destructive behavior. You eat too much. You're always eating everything that you can put your hands on. You can name a bunch of plethora of destructive behaviors. Take your pick. We all have them. Ones that boast that they don't chew and drink and smoke, they got something else. They gossip. Something else in there. But the point is, we have instituted subconsciously and therefore by default consciously, I think, behaviors to help us survive the tragedies, the traumas, and even in some cases the triumphs, because everybody can't even have you ever had a time where you really was accomplishing something but there was nobody to celebrate with you? You couldn't find an honest soul to have a conversation with that wouldn't hate on you. You couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Now there's some deep other reasons for that, but the point of the matter is, talking about the surface, it doesn't feel good, and so you institute. But the greater issue that I wanted to bring to the table in this new series is this: that the will to live under the tent of pretentiousness dwindles day by day. When we live in pretentiousness 24/7, in denial 24/7, in pretentiousness, in hype, that's where you get the word hypothetical but hypocritical. I need some help right there. Then what happens is the hope deferred makes the heart sick, one proverb says. And over a period of time, that which was meant to pacify aids in the killing of the intention of who you were supposed to be. And we all have these destructive behaviors, and some are more drastic than others, and some are more destitute than others, but we all have them. To say you don't have them is to be lying. You're in denial right now if you're saying, oh, I don't have. We all have potential, and we have potential destructive behavior. But I'm specifically talking about those of us who have come to terms with the fact that we have these behaviors, or we've had these behaviors, and we're trying to recover from the behaviors. The behaviors in and of themselves may not be as active as they once were, but we have now been indicted, if you will, with the effects of those behaviors, whether it be poor health, whether it be lack of concentration, whether it be a lack of being able to go deeper in a covenant relationship, whether it be retention on a job, whether it be honesty and integrity in a contract, whatever the case may be. The point is, the activity has, to a greater sense, subsided. But the effects of the seed sown continues. Hence, for those that smoked, they say that the what am I want to say here? The kickback from trying to quit, tension, lack of sleep, being fidgety, kind of easily upset. For those who, the withdrawals is the word I was looking for. Same way with those who drink, get drunk, the withdrawal, the body has to go through a cleanse, and really recovery starts with a cleansing. And I think a cleansing starts with acknowledging, and acknowledging starts with confessing. You know what? I adopted certain behaviors. And I just want to be frank and honest with you. There are so many things that I went through as a young adult, particularly started when I was a child, but from child to young adult, I must admit to you, I must confess it right here, right now. I did not want to live for many years. For many years. Just didn't have of course, I attempted suicide when I was a teenager, and attempted suicide when I was a young adult, just coming into my 20s, I think, around that time, and later, and even in my early 30s. But I must admit to you that the compound behaviors, while they were not overt, they were not obvious to others. Some of the most destructive behaviors are those that are not obvious to others, such as depression and anger and anxiety. And I must admit to you that I had a compound, more inverted path of destructive behavior. And I think, as I said earlier, we're attempting to deal, if you will. Yeah, in the therapeutic word they call it, we're attempting to cope. And there are some things that if you're struggling today with destructive behaviors, and if you're trying to recover, there's two separate planes. One, you're walking in destructive behaviors, but two, you're recovering. The destructive behavior per se has ceased, but you are dealing with the remnant effects of destructive behavior. But I must admit to you, it's about maturity. It's about integrity. I'm not talking about being honest with anyone else other than yourself and God, of course. But even God knows that when you don't speak, He knows what you're speaking. But I myself, I must admit to you, am still recovering to this day from destructive behaviors. Because destructive behaviors is also not doing that which you are talented and gifted, and using excuses and being an introvert when you don't have to be, being quote unquote shy. There's all kinds of destructive behaviors. Refusal to engage life. Refusal to engage revealed purpose. Refusal to stay on the path of destiny. You get on the path of destiny, and then you get distracted and you get off, and then another year, you get back on, another few months, you get off. And we're all tempted. Let's just put that out there, that we're all tempted to get the heck off the path to destiny, because the path to destiny is nothing to be played with. And for those of you that have walked on the path of destiny, it's a lonely place, even though you may be prosperous. It's a suffering place, even though you may be surrounded with friends and support and family. It's still a place of destitute. It's still a destitute place. Yes, it's a place, where you see God work things out, and you see things come to fruition and manifestations and all that. But listen, make no mistake about it. If somebody tell you that they're not tempted to walk off the path of destiny because they don't like the way it feels, they don't like the way the pressure comes, they are lying to you. I don't care how many prophecies the prophets prophesy. When you get on the path, it will not be as they prophesy. It will never be as they say from the pulpit, because he that wants to do something right, and furthermore, he that wants to do something godly, is going to suffer. We don't teach suffering. We don't like suffering. We don't talk about suffering. And hence why we are where we are, hiding, denying our destructive behaviors. And maybe in your case and in my case, we're still struggling even in our recovery of destructive behaviors. Recovery, to heal in your body, to heal in your mind, to make yourself get off work and not be a workaholic, to make yourself calm down when you could get upset about where is my Social Security card, when the state of Georgia now has mandated that you have your Social Security card and your birth certificate to renew your license. Somebody help me with that one. Anything to just tie folks up, call it to be prevention of driver license ID theft or whatever. But trust me, it's never all of what they tell us in the news. Destructive behaviors have snagged most of us. Some of y'all, sex is a destructive behavior. You gotta have sex with somebody just about every week. You just gotta have it. You just gotta have it. Now, the church can put labels and names and appropriate move the pieces around and give them the proper names. I'm not talking about I'm not breaking all that down. You break that down for yourself. But I'm just simply saying to you, the behaviors that we practice that destroy the potential of our lives is destructive. And those of us who have since stopped those behaviors still and yet are recovering from them. It's like the alcoholic that says, my name is, John Doe, and I'm an alcoholic. Even though he may not be drinking, he's acknowledging that I will and will always be recovering from the crutch of drinking. I will and perhaps always will be recovering from depression. That's why I celebrate people. People don't, you haven't heard? One of the reasons why I do what I do is because I was not celebrated as a child. Didn't feel celebrated. Wanted to die 1,000 times over. If I could have died, I would have. But I couldn't even do that right. I got even more depressed about it. The point that I'm saying to you is that we have dark rooms in our conscious or in our subconscious, memories that have never been processed, film that has never entered into the dark room per se for processing, things that we've never talked about, places that we've gone, people that we've been with that we've never exposed. And so secretly we adapt various behaviors to cope, to survive the moments Moments turn into minutes, minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months, and months turn into years, and before you know it, oh hell, I didn't know I had a drinking problem. Oh hell, I didn't know I was destroying people with my mouth, gossiping about people every chance I got, telling lies on people, having a rush to judgment. I mean, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. Some people can't close their mouth to save their lives. But if your destructive behavior has been since revealed, whatever it was, you got a long road to recovery, as do I. Hence why we are here. Hence why we are listening. I'm listening to your thoughts while you're silent, and you're listening to my voice while I'm speaking. And I'm telling you, we are a hurting nation. We have secret and overt and covert destructive behaviors. We don't talk about our behaviors that are destructive. We make excuses for them. We make up lies for them. We cover for them. My hand is up first. But many of you have since acknowledged, have since stopped the lying, the double dipping, the sneaking around the booth in the back in the dark, to 2 and 3 and 4 options out of that commitment or that covenant. And you're trying to do this thing straight up with the wisdom, but straight up. It's almost like you're taking life in the form of a shot. No ice, no lime, no salt around the rim, man. Just give me life straight up, man, and let me take it. Let me see if I can handle it. I'm telling you, man, it's a trip. You know, shot always comes in that small glass, because don't even want to give you the visual that more would be good, because it wouldn't be. That's why, I have a new saying that somebody say, how you doing? I said, well, now I'm taking a moment at a time, because I can't even be trusted with a full day. Now, I may acknowledge, as they say in church, that this is the day that the Lord has made. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just telling you, as for me and mine, I have to take one moment at a time, because I'm subject to fall down and not want to get up. Okay? Let's just be honest. Oh, you got those people out there, they're so godly, they're so religious. Listen, give me a break. Pressures of life can mount up. Pressures of life can mount the hell up and really throw you for a loop. And you have to align your confession, align your mind, align your past processes things that you might have been working on. You have to align your journey, align your steps. It's too much alignment. I remember one time I took my car in and they said, well, you need this kind of alignment for the front, then you need such and such for the back, and then according to our testing and you need this and the bearings on the other side. I was like, oh my God, this is just too much. Maybe I should just get a new car. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but that's the way our lives roll out. We are overwhelmed by the multiple steps, the multiple processes, the multiple inroads to the journey of doing something right. That's why we have to take one moment at a time and try our very best with the help of God Almighty, with the power of the Holy Spirit, for those of you that believe in the triune God. But we have to try to take one moment at a time and say, God, help me in this present moment to embrace the now and release the past. It's very difficult, but I have learned some very serious keys. If you really want to be free from destructive behaviors, I have to say, like the old mothers in the Church of Zion, the Lord will make a way somehow. But you gotta want it. You gotta think on it. You gotta meditate about it. You gotta muse over it. You gotta chew on it. Spit it back out and chew it again. I don't know how I'm going to stop drinking. I don't know how I'm going to stop beating my kids and my wife. I don't know how I'm going to stop being violent. I don't know how I'm going to stop getting high. I don't know how I'm going to stop getting angry and getting fired from my jobs. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to think on a day when, as they used to say in the civil rights, when one day I will be free. I'm going to imagine a day when one day I'll be able to walk down the peaceful paths of tranquility and be able to raise my hands with the freedom of destiny and be able to say, free at last, thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. We are in recovery. There are things in our lives that have died as a result of our destructive behaviors. Passions, just the passion to walk in a park. For some of us, the passion to cook a meal and enjoy it for the love of goodness. In the path of destructive behaviors is the annihilation of the everyday things that you used to enjoy. In the pathway of destructive behaviors are the very simple things of life that used to make us happy. Now we're so complicated and so sophisticated that nothing makes us happy. But in this recovery, I will, I shall, I must, and I've already begun to recover all that the locust worm has eaten. My lack of understanding, my lack of compliance, my lack of cooperation, my lack of whatever it is that you lack. This is the time to recover. Whatever you do, spread the word. Recovering from destructive habits and behaviors starts now. To the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station.
Hi, Jamaica Chapel, College Park, Georgia, in the house. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
Hi, this is Ted Bones calling from Richmond, Virginia, and you're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up now.
Hi, this is VJ Washington calling from Atlanta, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. So turn it up.
Hi, my name is Sonia Claiborne from East St. Louis, Illinois, by way of Columbusville, Missouri. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Turn it up.
What's good? It's your boy Joe coming from Snellville, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station, changing the way we live. SIBN FM, powered by Select USA TV. Follow us now on Twitter at Select USA TV and on Facebook at Select USA TV, and join the conversation anywhere SIBN television and radio is found. This is SIBN Radio. You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.